Hold there, knave. So Yorkie of the Shire stands before you, asking, art thou friend or foe? Thou art foe, then vanish thee back to the world wound from which thou came. If thou art friend, then join me now as we step a while back to Golarian, and more Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Now, where are we? We are with someone else. So Yorkie. There we are. Ah, yes. Friok's camp. We can leave there now. And press onwards. Let us go to the army first. TikTok, be a good hellhound. Or warhound. TikTok! Oh dear. It looks like visiting family has my dear warhound excited. So there may be a little yapping. Right, do we have cultists, ghouls, and cultist fighters? The thing giving me most concern is the cultists. Simply because they have an attack which can do huge amounts of damage all at once. To their man does, but I don't care about them. Slam down. Good. And that's them. Extra morale. Giving an extra attack. And there is the hellhound. Sneaking there into his favourite place. And such a victory, such an easy victory. Cultists protect their caravan of valuable supplies to the death. Crusaders prevailed. It seems demon worshippers plundered the treasures from nearby Golarian ruins. Right. And now it's time for us. Ah, yes, I do. I forgot to bring Daeran. That's fine. We'll drop you and bring you Daeran. Now, in the meantime, let us boost your oracleness, shall we? 20 is a fine charisma. Let's do Got moderate wounds. Actually, let's get out of there for now. Let's do the mythological. We'll have abundant casting to begin with. Oracle. Point blank shot to give you a better chance of hitting, though requiring you to fight closer. Magic weapon. And I guess... let's see, I think others are doing those. Maybe hold person. And level 7. Right. Weapon focus on crossbow. Enhanced cursor cures. Lifelink. Or spirit boost. None of those particularly interest me. Unfortunately, I hadn't selected second mystery, which was a mistake. But not to worry. Had I taken second mystery, I could have taken nature and given him an animal companion. Or sphere, I suppose. And delay poison communal. Right, let's step within Heaven's Edge.
This way. My not so numerous, but nonetheless dearest guests. About a year ago at my last birthday party, I assured you all that I nurtured a deep-seated hatred for boring people who give protracted speeches in the misplaced belief that their inner thoughts are of any interest to anyone but themselves. Now I am a whole year older and also a full-fledged crusader, an honorable position that requires me to be as dull, pedantic, and vexing as I possibly can. Therefore, a speech it is. The revered cleric Nestrin, my guardian and tutor, often told me that those who live a sinful life may expect to join the abyssal hordes after they die. This is why their path is the most despicable of all. A part of their soul may return to Mendev in the abominable form of a demonic invader. Every time we see a demon, we might as well think about it. What if this wretched creature used to be your great-great-grandfather? What if certain parts of this pointy-tailed beauty used to belong to your pious cousin? They say that the demons represent the sins of the souls they are made of. Succubi emerge out of lustful souls. Vandals turn into Abracandilu. Gluttons become Nabasu. I, for one, am determined to commit as many different sins as possible, so that the distributive mechanism of the abyss breaks when it tries to decide what to do with my soul. You, my dearest guests, will be my assistants in this complicated task. Eat, drink, and indulge yourselves in whatever vices you can. Let nobody leave this house as righteous as they entered it. Live every day like it's your last. After all, nobody knows when that day will arrive, do they?
Very true. Daeran smirks and finishes his wine. Honestly, Daeran, that was not the most tedious or lengthy speech I've ever heard. I've been to college. Did you find anything interesting? Nothing really, I just took notes of a few things. I attempted to find out whether anything unusual or mysterious has happened to the Count over the last 10 years. During my conversations with his acquaintances, 2 people noted that he never speaks of the revered Nestrin, the priest of Iamade, who was his guardian and tutor, yet he just mentioned Nestrin in his speech, whatever that might mean. You told me that you tried to find out if anything odd had happened to Daeran over the last 10 years. Some of his servants complained about strange occurrences in the house, like objects moving by themselves or candles going out. Of course, that could simply be a figment of their imagination. It's also very well known that the Count often invites various spellcasters to entertain him, and encourages them to use magic in mischievous ways. Practically the whole Mendev knows a story about the 3 drunk wizards and their teleportation race across the dunes of Canabres after a party at the Count's house. That doesn't sound like it would have ended well for them. What I'm trying to say here is that any fluctuations in residual magic at his house are not at all surprising. There was a matter of abduction, however. A gang of bandits kidnapped the Count, hoping for a ransom. The only reward they got was death. Afterwards, the Count told everyone that he had hired the bandits himself as a joke. The other mercenary squad that freed him and executed the bandits was also in his supply. Nobody really wanted to delve too deeply into this case after confirming the identity of those wretched cutthroats. But there was one disturbing fact about it all, and I don't mean the Count's bizarre idea of fun. The mercenary who supposedly freed him had also cut off the bandits' heads, after they had already killed themselves. After they had already killed them. The heads were cut off. You mean the bandits who attacked Daeran? Yes, perhaps. I wouldn't have even noted this detail had I not visited Heaven's Edge right after the tragic accident. I remember that we also found several headless bodies, both of guests and demons. We thought they had been decapitated during the fight. My companions have been finding severed heads among their belongings recently. Strangely, things like this weren't a problem before Daeran joined the party. What? That is an alarming coincidence. Now, we have another reason to conduct an investigation. It is crucial that we find out what exactly happened at that tragic feast. What do we need to do, Inquisitor? Now is the hardest part. I need to delve deep into the past of this place, which requires casting several different spells over some time. It would be very convenient for me if nobody interrupted the process until, especially the Count himself. I don't think he remembers my face, but a suspicious stranger casting unknown spells might attract his attention. All in all, what I want you to do is distract the master of the house. Right now, he's playing host in the very place I'd like to start with. I understand. Shouldn't be too hard. He's an incorrigible flirt. Daeran has been watching the guest with an unreadable expression, turns his head to you and says in a casual tone, like he's continuing a conversation that was interrupted. I have always considered myself an aesthete, not a hero. When doomsday comes, I thought I'd pour myself a glass of 100-year-old wine, sit in the front row and just watch the world burn. Playing the violin was also an option. I'll be damned if I know how I ended up in the Fifth Crusade. How did I become the companion of a hero? Chosen by Iamade. It was our destiny to end up together. Daeran snorts and averts his eyes from Oh, do go on. Yes, let's spill wine, pretend we're pretending it was an accident, and send him to get changed. I'm sure the incorrigible flirt will find that interesting. And did you also mean to ruin a suit that cost more than a thoroughbred? Don't fret, I have a spare. Just you wait. When I return, I shall look even more stunning. Lost a bottle of the wine. I see that you did your part, Commander. Thank you. Now get ready to watch and listen closely. I will unravel the past of this place and try to show whatever I find. The hum of voices, laughter and music fills your mind. Then the visions come, fragmented and hazy at first, before eventually coalescing to reveal a single face. It is a woman of stunning heavenly beauty, and her delicate features instantly tell you that who she is. The family resemblance to Daeran is obvious. My dear guests, the Lady of Heaven's Hedge welcomes all of you today. I hope this day is as bright for you as it is for me, because on this day my only precious, sometimes arrogant, but utterly beloved child was born. A child is usually a reflection of their parents and caretakers. Countess, will you allow the humble tutor of this young man to address the guests, and the man of the hour as well? A new face appears. It is a handsome old man with strong, dignified posture, and a voice that emanates power. Can't we just have one day without your sermons? It's my birthday after all. 10 years ago, the young Daeran had an utterly angelic appearance. His table manners and expression lacked the dignity of a true angel, however. Day, I'm sure the Reverend Nestrin only wanted to hug you and offer his best wishes on your birthday. Wait, what's that noise? The shrill laughter rings in your ears and reverberates in the base of your skull. In the vision, a Lily-too appears for the guests of the estate and gives them an exaggerated, scornful bow. The sorceress of evil has come to your celebration, mortals. Do you prepare a treat for me too? What do you want, spawn of the abyss? I've already done everything I wanted. Hey you, dodging cleric, look around. Did you notice anything odd? The plague is in your wine, in your food, in the air around you, in your blood. Soon you will all die. Pray to your pathetic goddess and call upon your healing powers, all you want. But they're not going to help you. Nothing will help you. I will give you a chance to see it for yourselves. And when I return, grave realization will have already sunk its teeth into your throats. Oh, how I love watching mortals in their final desperate hours. The demon finishes her speech with an air kiss to Daeran, making him freeze in horror, and disappears. Leotta shakes his head and slowly exhales, rubbing his temples. The first appearance of the disease and the Lily-too, one of the many sisters of the accursed Menago. So far, everything I've seen matches the official versions of events. Who were the people in the vision? Countess Selina Arendelle was Daeran's mother, one of the most beautiful women in the history of Mendev. He was an Aasimar just like her son. The old man is the esteemed cleric Nestrin, our count's guardian and tutor. He was well known for his unfaltering faith and iron will. I was only passing acquaintance with him, so I can't tell you anything more than that. I didn't recognize the others, but Daeran told me that the first victims of the disease were his second cousin and cousin's wife, hailing from the eastern border. Surely the cleric could have done something. I can't say for certain, but I believe there was nothing he could have done. Magical diseases are already difficult enough to cure, and this plague struck very fast indeed. Now we must find out what happened next. What now? I must check something. Right, I can sense the aftershocks of a very strong outburst of emotions and memories somewhere in the west wing of the house. Something must have happened in one of the rooms, so please check if everyone is in there and distract them if need be. No problem. Right, in we go. Looks like we've got more wine. Might as well take it. And then we're heading over this way. Chase Daeran out of his bedroom, I guess. Before we do, if that is his room, is it? One of these is.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Alright, so we've got, what, an Octo Blacks. There's a look of it. Shield. And then this is, yeah, this is a bed. Look at that.
Backwards.
There he is, topless. Daeran arches about you, but he doesn't seem to be disturbed in the slightest by your entrance. He's not trying to cover up or get dressed any faster. Commander, I assume you have an urgent matter that requires my attention. I'm absolutely confident you won't be able to persuade Soziel to draw a portrait of you. A nude portrait, that is. Sounds like a fine idea. Our cleric will surely turn down a direct request, but if I tell him that we can sell the portrait at a charity auction, why have I never even thought of selling my nude portraits at charity auction? It will cause a huge scandal, but it will also be good for a good cause. This will give those god botherers something to complain about. You give me a brilliant idea. Leota, time to do your stuff. I see you were able to do as I asked. Prepare yourself. This mission might be rather difficult to watch. Young Daeran stands motionless by the Countess's bed. His face is pale with fear, and for good reason. His mother's heavenly beauty is gone. Her smile, once beaming with vitality and happiness, looks more like the grimace of a corpse. Only her golden hair still glows, a sad reminder of the healthy young woman she was just a few hours ago. Mother, can you hear me, Mother? Day, my boy, how did you get here? Countess's voice is fading. Don't come any closer. This disease. Mother, listen. The revered Nestrin has sealed the gates. He says that he won't let anyone leave the estate. If the plague reaches the larger settlements, no one will be able to stop it. He claims that this is why the demons attacked us in the first place. They knew that we would call upon the strongest clerics to heal us, and those clerics would catch the disease and die as well. The fat Baron and his family tried to escape, but 3 armed paladins barred their way and said they would not let them go. Mother, we need help. Canabris is full of clerics, wizards, and demons who know who else. They might know how to stop it. We need to get there as soon as possible. We must away revered Nestrin. We are the lords of Mendev, and we must protect our people. If the plague, if it reaches Canabres, thousands of innocent people will die. I don't care about any innocence. Daeran's voice rises to a shout. You're ill, Mother. You're dying. You must tell them to open the gates and take you to Canabres. They won't listen to me. You are the lady of the estate. They can't refuse you. I can't. I must. Please leave, my dearest. Don't lose hope. You can still. Convulsion overtakes the Countess's body. The last words are swallowed by a large, long, guttural groan. Leota wearily rubs his temples in the face of the unreadable. Now, I have an answer to one of my many questions. Nobody went to Canabris in search of help because the revered Nestrin didn't let them. He valued the safety of the city more than the lives of his flock at the estate. What a difficult choice it must have been. All lives are equally valuable. How could you refuse to save them just because he thought some other people might suffer? The magnitude of potential disaster made him do it. Or perhaps it was a matter of his dignity. No one wants to be responsible for wiping out an entire city. Well, true. Leota rubs his chin thoughtfully. I have never been in the revered Nestrin's position, but I know the price of difficult decisions, especially those that you have to make quickly. I have no right to judge him, but we must continue our investigation. The next site I'd like to examine is the Great Hall. That is where we found the remains of Nestrin and the demons. I assume that he killed them in a confrontation, but we must make sure of that. Please help me clear an area so that I can study it. No problem. Let's go get Daeran out of there. Stop trying to talk me into this. You have neither heart nor conscience, Daeran. Even the noble idea of charity becomes a farce when you touch it. I don't think these so-called innocents will suffer from knowing that their money and medicine came from my sinful silhouette. Ah, Daeran, I don't think it's going to work, my friend. There is a feverish gleam to Daeran's eyes, owing to either tipsiness or some overabundance of emotion. Oh, there's a Yorkie. That rotter soldier refused to sketch me in the nude for charity. It didn't upset me too much. The faces he made while I was explaining the idea to him were well worth it. He looked very much like a pious matron being confronted with a talking male organ, one that was 2 foot long and being held aloft by a pair of golden angel wings. How are you enjoying my party? Are you having a good time? Not even a little bit. You're such a bore. No wonder my dear cousin plucked you out of obscurity to be her commander. Fine, let's change subject. I thought the unique ambience of Heaven's Edge and the fact that we're on the very border with the Whirlwind would make this celebration special. I thought the past would resurface and make itself known. Daeran smirks bitterly. Well, it seems even ghosts don't wish to attend my parties anymore. What can we do to liven up the event? A drinking contest. Ah yes, the tried and trusted method for salvaging a dull party. Salvaging anything really. I'm ready. But who's my competition? Me, of course. What's this? The commander himself. The hero of Canabres, the chosen one, is challenging me to a drinking contest. I'm in. Let's drink until one of us falls unconscious and begs for mercy. He certainly throws some interesting parties. That was just a little warm-up. Well, let's continue. Whoa, are we done? No, let's continue. My grandfather, or maybe my great-grandmother, put this bottle in the family cellar. So why did it fail the scion of illustrious Erendes in his time of need? Daeran looks a bit unsteady on his feet. I don't feel very well. Hey everyone, let's go back outside. I need some fresh air with my lungs. And that should clear them. Your way out again, Commander. Leota looks grim but focused. So let us take another glimpse into the past. A ripple of laughter flows through the hall. It begins as a sweet, charming chuckle, but then turns into a rasping cackle that makes Daeran huddle even deeper into his corner. Why are you running away from me, my sweet prince? Come on, let me touch you. I'll give you... The booming voice of an old man dressed in Neomedean robes shakes the walls of the hall. Get away from him, demon. Let the boy go. By the blade of the inheritor, you can touch him only over my dead body. You are pathetic, old cleric. Are you the guardian of the charming little prince? Well, you guarded him in vain. The disease is already circulating in his blood, and soon he will rot before your very eyes. You won't be able to help him, and I can at least make sure his death is beautiful, clean, and sweet. The demoness turns her eyes to face, and eyes face the demon. Daeran, even, and licks her lips. A coarse laugh escapes the young man's throat. We'll see about that. Leotta turns towards you in astonishment. Droplets of sweat glisten on his temples. Something is wrong, Commander. My spells are not working as I expected. It's as if some kind of supernatural explosion is occurring here 10 years ago. Blending everything together, the magical auras, the emotions, the memories. I'll try to read it again. Please continue. Just give me a moment to focus. I will try to channel my visions and feelings to you as accurately as possible. Daeran, my boy, what is going on? Leotta's muscular shoulders begin to shake. The vision he's channeling does not change, but you feel something enormous and chilling silently infiltrate the reality around you. The presence of this nameless being becomes almost palpable. Some alien entity is talking to him. Hurry up, old cleric. Stop him right now. Do you really want to see what happens when... Save me? Can you save me? The presence thickens into something more tangible. The entity is silent, but you feel your blood pulsing in your temples, and each beat brings a new image, or rather, a new notion. Help brings a feeling of relief and safety. Exchange makes a pull stronger and more demanding. Gate and secrets come immediately after. The images become heavier, almost visible. Secrets, keep the secret, otherwise death, 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 death. The gruesome images swirl through your mind, filling it with pain and fear, and then it all starts again. Help, exchange, secret, death. Nestrin stretches out a shaking hand suddenly, looking like a doddering old man, instead of a mighty cleric imbued with holy power. Daeran, wait, the thing you're about to let loose is even worse than these demons. Daeran's body is quivering like a taut bowstring. His eyes dart from cleric to demoness, who is frantically casting protective spells. Demons, saints, I'm so fed up with all of you. Burn! And so it vanishes. And Leotta passes out. Leotta opens his eyes with a groan, then gets back on his feet. His legs are wobbly, his eyebrow is cut, but he seems not to notice. Sincere sorrow is written on his face, as well as a strong hint of horror. What a misfortune. No, what a disaster. Everything is far worse than he imagined. Are you alright? The strain, the emotions, they overwhelmed me and made me faint like an agitated youngster. It is nothing really. I will not be able to cast any spells the rest of the day. But aside from that, I'm fine. Do you understand now what happened 10 years ago? The Inquisitor slowly exhales through clenched teeth and says in a low voice, still messaging his temples. Yes and no, damn it, my thoughts are astray. I'll try to explain everything to you in full detail. Many living things are capable of performing the most extraordinary feats, good or bad, when a deadly threat looms over them. 10 years ago, the young Count found himself cornered in every sense of the word, and he allowed some alien entity to intercede for him. It frightens me that all my experience as an Inquisitor are completely useless in this case. It does not resemble anything I've ever heard or read about. The entity, I think we'll call it the Other, possesses uncanny power. It was capable of instantly killing 3 greater demons, a mighty cleric, and a host of other mortals. You saw everything yourself. What's worse is this entity, this Other, is still here. The Otter takes a long pause. His gaze is drawn to the chamber, where the guests are laughing and dancing. Daeran's eloquent voice rises above the music for a moment. He's asking someone to bring more wine and add more logs to the fire. I don't know what exactly this creature is, but I know what it did to the Count. It turned him into a living gateway. The Other is not a being inside the Count's body. It's not directly controlling his mind. That's why there are no obvious signs of possession. But it is looking through his eyes. It treats him like a window into the world, and it can instantly step through it to wreak what havoc it desires. Does Daeran know anything about all this? Yes, of course he does. Did you hear what the Other tried to convey to us? Help in exchange for a secret, death. Death to those who know the truth. It wants to have an opportunity to use the Count as a gateway, without anyone knowing. This is what made Daeran deny that he remembered anything about the conclusion of the events at Heaven's Edge. so... what do we think of this? I think... is it still here, or is it within Daeran? That's my question right now. What does it want? This is the strangest thing about it all. It came to this world 10 years ago, and it's still here. Right? All this time, it's been watching us through the eyes of the Count. Had it, for instance, wanted to kill Her Majesty the Queen, it would have had plenty of opportunities to do so. The Count can get close to practically every influential figure in Mendev, but the other refuses to act, or its interests lie in some other sphere. Did the other kill everyone then? The disease was not to blame. Not everyone, just Nestrin, his paladins, and a few remaining guests. Damn it. I know that it took the work of a mysterious omnipotent entity, but it still stings. I was here 10 years ago, and I didn't check everything personally. Could the other be the reason why my companions keep finding severed heads among their belongings? It seems very likely. I'm almost certain you are right. People tend to lose their heads when they get too close to Count Arenday anyway. I do apologise. That was inappropriate. Perhaps your gruesome findings are the heads of some cultists who tried to kidnap the Count during the Canabris slaughter. Or perhaps they provoked the other in some way. You have to do something, yes. Now I understand Father Nestrin perfectly. I must make a crucial decision, despite the death of information. The Inquisitor falls silent for a moment. Then he looks through you right in the eye. Commander, first and foremost, I must apologise. Second, I must insist you keep this secret. Why? As soon as the Count finds out that we know the secret, the other will understand it as well. We do not yet have know what it is exactly, and the scope of its powers, but we know that it would dispose of anyone who might reveal its existence. I've made a decision, Leota says gravely. I will not tell anyone about the discovery we've just made, not even the Queen or my superiors. Instead, I will immediately go to Nerosian and sift through all the archives of the Inquisition in order to find out what exactly we're dealing with, and how it can possibly be defeated. I may also make some cautious inquiries in other places, including Absalom. Still, I will not reveal the truth until I have found at least some reliable information. I'm asking you to do the same. Specifically, do not say a single word to the Count himself. So you want me to lead the crusade while carrying a bomb that may explode at any moment? I'm afraid that you won't be able to hide from the consequences when the bomb does explode. It's up to you to decide, though. What are you going to do with Daeran himself? At the very least, he's guilty of letting the other into our world. Right now, I'm a lot more concerned about the other, but when we find a way to get rid of the entity, the Count will have to stand trial. Many things about this case are still unclear, including the extent of his guilt. Did he call upon the other himself, or did he simply answer its call? Could he refuse its offer, or would it have led to his immediate death? Every detail is important, every testament needs solid proof. That is the difference between righteous justice and blind vengeance. Yeah, you might want to tell that to your boss. Fine, I'll keep it a secret. Leota lets out a sigh of relief. You made the right choice. I recommend that you go back to the guests and spend the rest of the evening as you please. Anything else might raise suspicion. I must leave immediately in search of the knowledge we all need so desperately. Farewell, Commander. May the light of Eomade guide your path. Leota Hawkblade will try to keep your path to triumph, clear of any unwanted guests. Right. That is complete. It's time to leave. Well, come on. We come forward. There is this area here. Right now, I'm thinking about up here too. Failed to sneak past the enemies. Prepare for a fight.
Can we retreat already? It's all your fault.
And he's dead. Well, it looks like there's nothing here right now. Let's just polish up a couple of armies with ours. And the one I'm concerned about here is these, who can send some gaseous clouds that potentially turn my people off. Yep, they're turned down, see? Unable to act. They're not. Ah, you're turned up again, aren't you? Okay, my mistake. There we are. Nice and easy. What did we gain from that? The dredgers hitched to the overloaded carriages had no chance of escaping, and their masters preferred death over giving up their cargo without a fight. The wagons were full of treasures, plundered in the chaos of battle for Canabres. We have the flies, we have the cultists. Let's hit the cultists. Not sure what I did there. The cultists are done. And you can take on the fighters. And you can take on the fighters. You appear to be unable to do anything. Fine. Well, all we have is these. Wait, oh no, there's these as well. My mistake. And then I think we're going to call it a short stream. We may take one more army on if we can, but that will be it. The Scottish slaves fought fiercely and relentlessly. like insects swarming around a flame without any awareness of what they were doing. When the last of the demons had fallen in battle, the Crusaders could finally take in what they exactly they'd been fighting for. For many years, these old salt mines had provided the local alchemists with the most valuable ingredients, and now they could do so again. Increasing material resources. Good. Magic reserves 1. Why not? And we have a smallish rank 4 army here. We have 123 flies. The rest are not really all that important. Well, it's 21. Well, what else is there? That. They're almost done. And now they are. What else? Just you. Just you indeed. And lost very few troops, which will all be replaced. Let's go. Just these 34. Oh dear. Let's see. One more. And I think your friend, Sir Yorkie, must retire. I think it's obvious that this is going to be a short stream, because sleep is claiming me. Unfortunately, due to a bad back, I have had to use a little painkiller, and it's hitting me a little. This old Sarkorian graveyard was ravaged by a group of flesh-eating ghouls. They mangled the corpse or turned them into walking dead, but the valuable items buried in the graves proved of no interest to them. What is this? Bonus on use magic device skill checks. Increases the save DC against spells of illusion. Not all that interested. You still have 12 steps to go. There is a demon army here. And we've reached it. Ooh, he could be nasty. I'm not sure. Take them out. Yes, you lost one. Unfortunate, but we can live with it. Another blast here. Oh, not the one I wanted to attack actually, but never mind. You can do nothing. Go down. Good. You still can do nothing. I think time to get some healing. Yeah, 4. A little more healing. We still can't do anything. And that brings them back to near full strength, if not at full strength. That's them down. Five more. And that should make it so that we can succeed, no problem. I'm there! One more battle won. The enemy which tried to strike at the rear of the Crusade army was defeated. Crusaders can approach Dresden with no need to watch for an attack from the rear. And they can move forward, not them, please. Ready to join up with the other troops. Well, you're all the way back here, they're all the way over here. It'll take a little while to get you together. For now, I apologise for the shortness of this stream. As I said, a bad back and a little painkiller has left it so that I think I'm rather visibly tired and don't want to ruin the show for you all. So you've been a fine set of companions, and this has been Wrath of the Righteous.